All right. So Eric Estavillo, a self-proclaimed sex addict,
Okay.
used Twitch as a way to blow off some steam.
Mm, mm.
So now he is
As one does,
suing
you know,
Twitch.
just
Yeah. So now he's suing Twitch for 25 million
nice.
because he says it makes him too horny, which means he has to go and jerk off because of all the hot female streamers that Twitch does not like manage.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he has a case there. I mean, maybe, probably not. But that's fucking funny as shit. That is so weird. I wonder who the lawyer is that took that case. That's my first question. Really, like who in their right mind is like, yo, bro, I could definitely make money off this fucking sex
you've
pest.
you've
Because
got a
like
case here.
I don't know,
Go.
man. If someone's like, I'm a sex addict, you're probably not doing a grand old job with your sex life, and it is not fun for other peeps.
So, according to the lawsuit that he filed, he alleges that Twitch had a plethora of quote unquote overly suggestive and sexual content from various female streamers. It went on to say that Twitch has extremely exacerbated his condition by displaying many sexually suggestive women streamers through Twitch's twisted programming netcode.
Huh? Okay.
Basically, he's saying
So
that
he's
he
blaming
can't
the
log on to
algorithm.
Twitch. Yeah, he's saying that he can't log on to Twitch without being shown sexually provocative content.
Mm, mm.
And while he was pleasuring himself during a Twitch stream, he actually ended up injuring himself. He suffered from an infection and redness after he got down and dirty with some not safe for work toys. He also mentions that staring at his screen for prolonged periods of time caused his eyes to be irritated. Uh, and another incident which streams caused him to, uh, you know, eh, onto his keyboard, which led to a fire and a blackout in his apartment. He's 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 so in short for everybody watching, he is suing Twitch for $25 million because he says that Twitch's algorithm keeps putting because like when you log on to Twitch, you see like featured streamers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like people who are popular, like that's just kind of you're putting your best fucking cuts of beef out and for everyone to look at. If it's the most popular, somebody's like, I might just buy that. Sorry, I don't know why I did that voice, but yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Like I don't know, you
It's
feed
like
the
it's
line.
like a fucking deli, okay?
It's like a fucking deli, bro. You just gotta walk in. You say what if you look and you see the capicola, the one that's in the front, that's obviously the best. He asked for that capicola. Fuck. Oh god, Andrew Cuomo is gonna be so mad at us.
Yeah, Andrew Cuomo's definitely watching this podcast.
Oh,
So yeah, he's basically saying that Twitch's algorithm is putting sexually suggestive and attractive women in front of him, which
right.
leads him, due to
It's condition.
his conditions, that he
Okay.
has to pleasure himself to that, which in turn caused him to injure himself, receive an infection from a toy. He glizzy glopped onto his keyboard, which caused a fire and a blackout in his apartment. And he gets irritated
I
eyes from
hate these
staring at
words that
screens
you're
too
using.
long.
These phrases. This is horrible. This is already the worst episode to me. You're a monster. Um,
What do you want? What do you want me to call it? You know,
no, I mean it's fine. It's fine. I like you don't have there. It's actually grand, but you're breaking my brain with these phrases. But to like, all right. So about this, as you're going through his list of uh, what's the word, complaints, I guess, or grievances. There we go. As you're going through his list of fucking grievances, I'm immediately like, huh. Um, I remember I signed on to Twitch very recently. This is absolutely anecdotal evidence. I
Hmm.
just started Twitch, twitch.com/Comrade Jewel. Oh, I just plugged myself. Anyway, but I looked at the page, like the front page, and I was like, I didn't see any sexy ladies, you know, on my initial like blind sign up to page. You know, it
Right.
was people playing like I think like Destiny, the new COD, and Fortnite. Like that was the top stuff. So I'm already knowing what I know about Facebook algorithms, you know, TikTok, whatever, and what have you. He searched for some big titty goth girls uh
Some big titty goth girls. Yeah. All right.
initially,
So
and they were like, this is for you, you know, like this is what you like, buddy, we're gonna give it to you.
yeah. So they have a certain algorithm for like when you scroll down, but the initial page is just like the stuff that's trending. So for me, it's been like the Outside Lands concert for like the past like 3 days because like there's a festival going on.
Okay.
Uh, so it's been like Marshmello and like other DJs and like Radiohead and shit like that.
Uh,
So here's more to it. So uh, you're saying because of the algorithm and all that, it didn't happen to you. He had to go seek it out. So
yeah,
uh,
he obviously had
uh,
to look for it. the
so
and I was gonna say the sex toy thing, that sounds like a hygiene issue, and user error. That has nothing to do with Twitch, my dude. I don't know if you're sharing your sex toys, my friend, if maybe you're
it
just not
sounds
cleaning them thoroughly. Like maybe there's just a little bit too much of the glizzy glob in there, and it's spoiled over. You know, I don't know. That sounds like a you problem. Yeah.
it sounds like he's not cleaning it, which I
Mhm.
don't want to think about.
I
But
don't know. You listen. You brought it up, man. I'm just giving you the logic.
um, it says Estevio would appreciate if the streaming platform had a gender filter so he would not have to watch women. Meanwhile, he follows 786 women on the platform and 0 men.
This lawyer has balls of fucking steel. My man is going into a fucking nuke fight with butter knives. I love it. Whoever this lawyer is, represent me. If I ever get in any trouble, you're my guy because you're crazy and you'll defend anything.
You know how like lawyers with billboards they have certain things that are just like injured on the job, you
Right.
know, like
Bust a
in a
nut on your
car accident.
colorful keyboard.
His was just like, got a case? You got it.
Hang at it. Actually, I'm not a lawyer. I just really wanted to be on TV. That's how it's gonna end, dude. Like,
He's not a lawyer, but he just really had to see this thing to the end.
oh, absolutely. He wanted a front seat ticket to the show.
Mm.
Because
It's like
obviously,
that
I'm.
guy. It's like that guy from the Nelson Mandela speech from back in like 2011, who was supposed to be doing sign language and he did not know sign language. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes, I did.
It was like
Um,
C-SPAN. It was like a worldwide broadcast and live stream. Like this is like a huge like international policy speech, and the guy did not
he
know a
was just like,
single lick of sign language. He was just up there, just doing some Naruto shit, just like
fucking
um,
Chidori. That's
um,
it's wonderful. You gotta wonder, like, how thorough are we? How thorough are we for real? Because that kind of shit just shouldn't happen.
So, Estevio is seeking 25 million in damages and the immediate removal of all of the streamers named in his 56-page lawsuit, which is over 300 streamers, all female. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. You can't see my face right now, but god damn it, Jen.
That's amazing.
This guy is he is He's got some cojones. And he's just like, hey man, listen, dude, I can't stop beating off. It's somebody else's fault, and I'm getting paid.
Oh my god. You know, he probably has an issue with like his wife or something, and that's why he's like this. Like, no, babe, it's not me. It's the Twitch and the streamers and the
It's the
boobs, and
Twitch streamers, baby.
I can't,
It,
I can't.
it's I can't. I just can't stop these big titty, big booty, alt and hot goth girls. I can't stop. I'm sorry.
You
We're
know,
gonna get.
you know about my conditions. Why would you do this to me? And she's just like, why did you donate $1,000 to the streamer? It's my conditions. I can't, and I had to buy a new keyboard and the fire. And
This guy. Ah man, my. Well, I blame you for your plight, Estevio. I feel for you, fam. Because hey, listen, hot
sounds
people are
like he
hot.
feels himself too.
He probably does. He definitely feels himself. He is feeling himself probably right now.
Feeling himself a lot.
Um, one can hope. Hopefully, he's getting through these trying times.
He's getting it all worked out.
One jerk at a time.
He's
One jerk at a time. But oh,
just pumping through it.
He's just pumping through
No.
it. This is definitely his fault. Like my guy, my dude.
I mean, yeah, some Twitch streamers are hot. You know, I will give that to his argument. And there are guys out there that are an amazing amount of desperate that like, you know, I remember like reading a Reddit thread about streamers, and it was some like hot female streamer. I actually don't really follow that many streamers, like maybe like 5 or 6 if I don't know them.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh man, like I wish I could make my monthly $1,000 donation, but I have to pay rent. And I'm just like, bro, what?
Monthly $1,000.
Yeah.
Something tells me that this guy is also like taxation is theft.
Oh god, probably yeah. Some fucking. I mean, I don't like to use the incel moniker lightly, but I mean, if we're talking about those kinds of people,
That's some incellular bullshit.
Yeah, and I remember reading another one. Oh my god, it was a post from a streamer about how like she had to move, but she had a moderator for her channel,
Okay.
and he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna try to find it, but he was basically like obsessed with her, and she didn't know, and so what came out was that she had a husband, and she had kind of kept that discreet, right? And he was like, how come you never told me? And she was like, it's not really your business. Like,
Right.
He's like, I moderate your channel. I've moderated your channel for like 9 months. And she's like, yeah, and I thank you. Like, you've been great. He's like, and I donated to you and subscribed to you, and I paid you thousands of dollars. She's like, yeah, I thought you just really liked my content. And he was just like, no, you betrayed me. And he like wouldn't stop like messaging her. He went after, he's like, you ruined my life. Like, I'm bankrupt. You know, like I lost my job because I kept skipping work to like watch you on stream.
Oh
like,
god, why?
And so basically he tracked her down and doxed her, and like doxed her husband's name and his work, and like they basically had to like change their names and like move, and like she can't stream anymore. And it was like, yeah, no, that was and she wasn't like a major streamer. Like she was like, like a couple hundred followers, like, you know.
Right,
That's
decent,
still good,
like a
you know?
decent amount. Yeah.
Yeah, but she wasn't like one of these like Pokemon types, you know, Divinity types who, you know, they log on and they immediately have 30,000 people watching them. You know, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where like, you know, you can personally know your mods, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there are dudes like that, you know, and and I'm like, bro, just I'm not gonna say go to OnlyFans because you're gonna do the same shit. So just like, man, I don't know, dude. Just like pay for Pornhub Premium or something. I don't know.
Right, dude. Just like,
Like
you're not gonna. This isn't the way to
this is
like.
not the way.
This
We
is
don't
not
do
this
that
is
here.
not the way. This is not the way, brother. And like if you're going to do something like mod for somebody, like that's a responsibility, that's a job, and it's also a particular relationship in which you are, um, sort of guaranteeing the safety of the person you have decided to mod for, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and if it's kind of crazy how unaware they can be about how unsafe someone can feel when somebody who's
Oh yeah.
not supposed to be feeling for them romantically is expressing that kind of stuff, and they also like rely on them for a certain service, because then it becomes like, well, were you just doing this to try and sleep with me now, and like now you're not gonna do this because I'm not, and that's kind of weird, you know.
So I think that so it's a weird disconnect for me because I understand like pining over and like because you want to sleep with like a woman, like I get that, but I think like at least for me, like I feel like they have to understand that there isn't really a chance it's going to happen, and like their obsession is it's like weird, and that's why it's like not it doesn't really make sense to like you and me
Mm-hmm.
because like I mean these are people that like have tons of fans. I mean they probably live in entirely different states. Like their connection with these people is like only you know through this platform. And I'm not saying you can't find, like your significant other or the love of your life through like online, like that happens, but like this kind of thing is not like it's different. It's like this thing that we pick up and place over here instead. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a weird I can't explain it because I don't have it. Like I've never like done anything like that. Like people I play video games with can and Trish can even attest to this. Like I'm like I don't want to spend my money on shit. I'm definitely
Right,
not going to spend it like on that. You know,
right.
I play Warzone with my friends, and they're always like, "Dude, I hate looking at your character because you're using a base skin. Like you don't
Right.
have anything, any cosmetics at
You've
all." I'm
got
like,
no drip, bro.
I've
We
got
can't play
no
with you.
drip.
You've got no drip.
You got no Warzone drip. Yeah, I play as a base skin. I'm like, dude, it doesn't change the way the gun works. Doesn't change how I play. I'm not
Hey,
spending $10 on the battle
triggers still
pass.
go pew pew. You know what I'm saying? Like, trigger.
Exactly. But they're just like, I hate looking at your character. I'm like, then look away, dude, because I'm not
Yeah.
spending $10 on that battle pass.
Look
He's
at
like,
my
it's only
KD,
$10.
dickhead.
And I'm like, ten
That's
dollars
like
is a lot
all.
of money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
How
definitely
much?
do that too.
Like how? Yeah.
Check the
How?
stats.
Check the stats. Check the stats, bro. Don't be worried about my fit. Look at my wins. Um.
Check the leaderboard, not the fit.
And that shit's. I'm sorry. That shit's just really really funny to me.
I used to be
How?
like that, like bad on like COD. I used to be like, yo, I won't play with anyone who doesn't have at least this KD.
Mm.
I used to
Well, see,
talk used to talk shit.
that's slightly different. That's talking about skill level, right? It's not like, oh, dude, if you don't have the Hayabusa armor in Halo 3, then you're trash. Or was that Halo 2? I don't remember.
I
Um,
don't know.
I don't know. But like, if you don't have the Hayabusa armor, you're trash. Like, no one said that. But if your KD ratio is absolute garbage, of course I'm not going to play on your team, dude. I want to win. I want to like
Yeah.
do well. I understand that, like, that feeling and necessity, and like to be like, nah, man, I'm not going to play with this fucking scrub.
Plus, playing as a no skin also like gives people like this like sense that you're a noob, like a bot.
Right, right.
So like they push you stupidly. Like I'm not great at Warzone. I'm like okay. I'll say I'd say I'm okay. Like I
Yeah,
have like an above average KD. I have some wins. I'm
right,
not
right.
always dying and shit. I'm a lot better at Blackout, and sometimes I'll play as a no skin just because it gets people to like not double think like pushing you or like you know like the tactics change because they
Yeah.
think they think you're crap, like they think you're shit at the game. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
Because like I mean, there used to be a signifier. I mean, there kind of still is with like certain things. I don't play enough FPS games to like know, but there
Yeah.
used to be a level of skill involved with having the fancy skin or the fancy looking gun or whatever. Now it's, as we've complained about before, pay to play. And I hate that shit.
Yep.
I mean, obviously there's other stuff where, like, with Destiny, you grind through like boss fights or whatever to get, fancy guns, and that's cool. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But
Yeah.
just don't, like, buying the best things is weird to me.
Destiny's like egregious though because like RNG is so whacked in that game that you could do like the same dungeon. No, I don't think they call them the same raid. There we go. Because I haven't played
Mm,
Destiny in a long time. You could do the same fucking giant 5 hour raid 1,000 times and not get the fucking armor piece you need.
that's annoying.
Yeah, like
And
that game does not pay out
dude, and
whatsoever.
I play Bloodborne pretty regularly, and the RNG for the build that I currently use is, but even like that situation you just described to me sounds nothing like what I deal with trying to find like blood gems and shit. It maybe takes me like 10 tries, and then I get something like incredibly good for PvP. If you ever want to fight me, Comrade Jewel on PS4.
I
Come catch me
have
hands.
I have a PS4. It's actually sitting right over there, just like on a bookshelf because I don't have
I,
it plugged into anything.
I play
Have
Dragon
not
Ball
used it.
Fighters and Bloodborne. I might get into
Um,
Guilty Gear.
I'm absolutely shit at fighting games. The only fighting games I'm like okay at are like Smash Bros and like Soul Cal.
Yeah, but those are respectable fighters. It's not like, oh dude, I'm fucking amazing at, I don't know.
But
I don't know what a bad
like
fighter is.
I can pick up a shooter and usually be pretty good,
Yeah.
But fighters are like not in my like realm of like things that um, I'm good at.
Fighters
Even
are
even
my
in
favorite.
like Nate. Nate's like one of those dudes who's just like naturally good at fighters. I remember when I first got my Xbox One and
Killer
um,
Instinct.
yeah, Killer Instinct, and he like
Yes.
I
That'd be
like went to work. He was like staying in my house for like a week, and I like
yeah.
went to work or to do something. And he's like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna chill here and play this." And like by the time I got home, he's like, "Yeah, I figured it out. I played online, and I'm on like a 30-0 streak." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
That's amazing.
He's just one of those dudes. So like whenever we play Smash, he always just like beats the shit out of me,
Mm. It's like my buddy Kevin. I was
regardless.
playing Smash with him yesterday. We did a little, a very small gathering of people, less than 10, COVID
Mm-hmm.
safe, and we played Smash Bros. And I got spiked so many times, and I killed
Mm-hmm.
like the movement in that game is so loose, that I kind of forget how light everyone moves, and I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I just die because I'm bad at handling on that game.
I haven't really played Switch Smash that much. The last one I really played sort of extensively was the one for the Wii U. I think
Right,
that was
right. Oh,
Brawl.
it's pretty good. The
It
one
was
for the
Brawl.
Switch is awesome. I don't know if this is going to lose me points with the Smash community, but I love Simon and Richter. Those are my fucking mans. I
The only reason also that I hold my own in Smash is because I've been playing as the same character since the GameCube.
Yeah, I hate motherfuckers like you. I had a friend like that. All throughout her goddamn life, she has played as Yoshi. Yoshi's fucking moveset has not stopped or has not changed in so many
Yeah,
years, forever
I
since the game
play.
came out. I don't know how long the game's come out, and she is a monster. She should be put away for war crimes. And like, her tactics go against the Geneva Convention. That's all I got to say about that.
I play as Marth, and then on the newer ones I play as what's her name? It's like the female character that's like identical to Marth, but she's like a little faster,
Oh, I know who you're
or a
talking
little
about.
weaker. I
Just
don't
to
remember her
just
name.
to
She's
reiterate, real quick, I don't want to hammer this point too much, but top three war criminals:
okay.
George W. Bush,
Okay.
Barack Obama,
Okay.
my friend that plays as Yoshi.
Four, Genghis Khan.
Yeah, Genghis
Okay.
Khan.
Yeah, yeah. Five. That dude. God, what was his name? I think it's ADZ on Warzone, who just broke the solo kill record with like 57 kills.
Hmm.
Him. He's like number 5. Absolute, just straight up criminal.
Piece of shit.
Uh,
Everyone hates you.
so while we're talking about suing, you want to talk about while we're talking about war criminals, yeah. No, while we're talking about suing, you want to talk about where we are with TikTok?
Oh, well, I mean, you done filled me in on this, my guy. TikTok is suing the U.S. government because there is it's unlawful to ban them over some false allegations of selling information to the CCP. It seems to be also a freedom of speech and freedom of information issue. I don't know. Would you like to expand upon that? Because like I don't know the
Yeah.
details of this.
So contextually, what I'll
Mhm.
say is for anyone who's really far behind, like
Let's
crazy
bring them
far
up to
behind,
speed.
is that so Donald Trump, uh,
Trying to ban TikTok.
he's trying to ban TikTok. He wrote an executive order that basically said that if TikTok doesn't sell its rights to a U.S. owned corporation within 45 days, it will be officially banned in the United States.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of animosity about that and a lot of reasoning. He's saying that it's because they're collecting data and information on U.S. users and selling it to China because they're a
Yep.
Chinese company that owns TikTok.
Yes.
Um,
Bite dance.
and so he's saying that that is a compromise of like intelligence. Um,
Okay.
but the surmised reasoning is actually because it's a major media corporation
Yes.
filled with U.S. users, so,
Absolutely.
that he has no viable control over.
That.
Because
Yes. Yeah.
you
Go ahead.
cannot you cannot buy ad space on it.
Mm-mm.
Um, so he has no control over that, and a major reason why he won in 2016 was because he was able to him and the Russian government were able to spend a lot of money. Well, his campaign, he distanced himself from this, but it's why Bannon and like Manafort and all them are like going to prison.
Yeah.
But basically, his campaign worked with the Russian government and spent a lot of money on creating targeted ads for his
Yeah.
campaign through
Gotcha.
information that was sold through U.S. Corporations,
Right.
which is what the whole Cambridge Analytica shit was.
Yes. 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 Yes.
They utilized Cambridge Analytica for that.
Right.
So now we have a scenario where TikTok has, humongously gained in usage because in 2016, TikTok did not exist. It was Musically, and Vine had just ended, and Musically
Yep.
was a very different kind of app. It
Yeah.
wasn't what TikTok is now.
No.
But then ByteDance bought them, and
Yep.
you know, so um, that's like the at least on our end why what we see Trump's motives as to ban TikTok. It's that he can't use them, and it's an outside influence. And there's also like a huge presence of free and independent thought and creation on there that isn't
Mm-hmm.
manageable by the U.S. government. So what he
Yeah.
wants is he wants a U.S. corporation that he has jurisdiction and power over to own it. So then he can start saying what we can and can't do on there, and then he can buy ad space, and then he can use it for his campaign and his business and to further his agenda.
Mm-hmm.
So where we are now is we were almost at the 45-day mark, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Um, and it's being extended. The 45 days is being extended. It's in because it's pending. It's in litigation because
Yeah.
now TikTok is suing the U.S. government,
Right.
and they're saying it because I'm going to find
Their statement.
their statement. Yeah. So it says here, we strongly disagree with the administration's position that TikTok is a national security threat, and we articulated these objections previously. The blog post read. The company claims the Trump administration has ignored TikTok's numerous efforts to address its concerns. So what this means is that Trump has accused TikTok, and other government officials and stuff like that have accused TikTok of being a national security threat because of the information to China. And they say they've been saying, hey, we've been trying to connect with the government
Right.
and say that and tell them like, look, we want to work with you. We don't sell information to China. We're a private corporation.
Yeah.
You know. Uh, so they say the company claims that the Trump administration has ignored TikTok's numerous efforts to address its concerns. Instead,
Mm.
Trump declared the app a national security threat over its ties to the Chinese government. TikTok also continues to claim it protects U.S. user data by storing that data outside of China on servers in the U.S. and Singapore. It
Mm.
says it has erected software barriers to ensure the data is held separate by other products operated by TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance.
Hmm.
The lawsuit notes, too, that TikTok's actions were already known to the U.S. government due to the National Security Review by the CFIUS, which is the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, and took
Mm.
place when ByteDance acquired Musical.ly in 2017, and then it became TikTok.
Okay.
As part of the review, the government examined TikTok's documented security practices and came to the conclusion that the deal could proceed.
Okay.
Um,
So what does that mean exactly?
so,
Sorry.
uh, so it means that the whole issue with TikTok supposedly selling information
Yeah.
was already reviewed by the U.S. government, and they had knowledge that it wasn't happening because there was like an audit that happened back in
Hmm.
2017 when ByteDance acquired Musical.ly.
Right.
And
So
since
they've already.
Musical.ly was a U.S. company,
Right.
and then ByteDance acquired them, so it was a Chinese company buying a U.S. company that had usage in the U.S. So they've already
Yeah.
sort of cleared that barrier.
Yeah. 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 So everything's basically up to code, and Trump is yet again making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And
So there's a possibility that ByteDance is lying.
mm,
Um, I'm going to be objective here. I mean, fuck Trump, but I'm going to be objective here. But China's government does have a cybersecurity law that requires tech companies like ByteDance to hand over any data that they obtain to the Chinese government. And it
gotcha.
could spell big issues for them if the Chinese government was knowledgeable that they were collecting data and not handing it over and storing it outside of China.
Mm,
So there's a possibility that they're lying, and this is all a directive from the CCP to continue to be able to acquire data from the US. So
God.
there is a certain amount of what's the word? Like credence to this whole thing. So like there is a certain amount of credence to it,
Mm.
but I am 100 or
There are some dots you can connect.
99.99% confident that it's not the full reason why Trump is doing
Yeah.
it,
Gotcha.
which is the reason being the one I explained earlier.
Hmm. Gotcha.
So that's where we are. TikTok reminds the government too that the ban would eliminate over 10,000 American jobs because their usage on the app is mostly separated by country. We do get some international stuff, at least in
Yeah.
my For You page and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah. I
but
look at
there
my analytics,
are
and I've
what's up?
got like I was saying, I look at my analytics pretty regularly, and I've got like followers from Australia, the UK, and like
Mm-hmm.
I think New Zealand. Shout outs to New Zealand. That's like 3,000 people who follow me. That's like half of New Zealand.
Word.
New
But yeah,
Zealand's
so there
small.
are American jobs in the sense that they have coders, programmers, mods, IT, and all that stuff based in the U.S. for all the U.S. users.
Yeah.
So there's about 10,000 of those, is what they say. Plus,
Gotcha.
another thing is also TikTok was they just did it recently, like within the past month, but
Mm.
they made content monetizable.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you
I've
knew
actually
about
made
this.
$11 off of my content so far. I'm making
Word.
big bank, boy.
um, yeah, I don't know the exact like algorithm that or like formula they use
Yeah.
to figure out like how much you get paid,
It's like
but
a couple cents every 2015, 2,150 views. I did some math, and I was figuring out like how much. I think it was like 10 cents for every 2,000, like 2,200 views, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's great for TikTok creators because of the fact that ad space couldn't be bought, and also like since it's a Chinese company, they weren't really open to U.S. brand deals due to our trade war with them either. So
Hmm.
like TikTok creators weren't getting brand deals. What they had to do was get big enough on TikTok, which would then get them big enough on somewhere like Twitter or like Instagram, or like
Yeah.
where they could then get brand deals.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
but on TikTok itself directly, it had to be this whole sort of like middleman system. So it's
Right.
really great for TikTok. And the thing is, they don't make any money. Like ByteDance makes zero money from TikTok. So they released a statement about the whole monetization where they put together, I think, like $6 billion. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's that's the figure to pay TikTok creators for their content based on that viewership, sort of like you were talking about,
Yeah.
over the next like so and so amount of years. But that's like they're not making any money from it. It's literally money that they aggregated just for this, and now they're just taking that loss.
Yeah, and they're like funding creators in a like that's such a crazy thing. Like YouTube could have done this, fucking Instagram could have done this. No social media platform has been like, yo, let's pay our fucking people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it seems like it's
I
always
mean,
been like the platform is a way to get is like a third party too, and now they're just like, nah, we're the party.
mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and fucking and YouTube just like dicked all its creators with like the adpocalypse and all that. So
Oh,
now
absolutely.
like you need, I believe, 1,000 followers to even be able to have monetization. So we don't get anything from our videos. You know, um, I used to back in the day. We don't now.
Damn it.
Um, and then you have to have a certain number of ads based on the length of your video,
Right.
and you only get paid for that ad if they reach that point and finish the ad as well.
Yeah.
So like I remember there was an article I read. What?
So I'm just a giant dickhead for skipping every ad.
You're not. Well, yes, you are.
Fuck. Damn it.
um,
Ah,
you are,
I'm
but
showing the
if
world
you
my head.
use if you
I
use
was laughing.
ad block, actually,
Yeah.
depends on the one you use, but if you use AdBlock Plus, not
Right.
like regular AdBlock, but AdBlock Plus, which is a separate Chrome extension,
Yeah.
that's the one you should use to everybody. If you use that, it actually, within its coding, makes it so when you watch a video, it acts like you actually watch the ads, even though you did.
Oh, that's fire. See that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch
Yeah.
ads, but I definitely want people to get paid for the ads.
Oh,
You
of
know,
course. Yeah.
like and
Um,
everyone in the ad, not just the YouTube creator. I'm talking about like the sound guy, the lighting guy. Like that's work. That's just work, bro. Like that's work. You put in effort. You need, you know, get your
Yeah, so
pay.
people on like YouTube with like 1 million followers and shit like that, they used to make that buku bucks, you
Yeah.
know. But after Adpocalypse, now they're like, oh, I have a Patreon because I don't make money from YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
I keep talking about them, but the TMG podcast, like they had a thing where they were like, yeah, dude, like, um, we have to advertise our Patreon and shit like that, because like we simply just don't make money, and also like the ability for like companies to like copyright claim and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I think it has to be at least 5 seconds of
Hmm.
anything. Doesn't matter. It could be a background. It could be anything.
Oh yeah, some of the dumbest shit.
Copyright
I've
claim.
seen videos get taken down for the dumbest shit. I've seen what was it? Some comment etiquette, internet comment etiquette. He actually went through a thing where a company had bought, I guess, or started paying for the rights to another channel that he used to be a part of, and they like copyright struck almost all of his videos that were once on that channel, and then we're now hosted on his new individual channel, and it like killed a bunch of his money and shit. He figured it out and ended up ending amicably. He made a whole video about it. You can check it out. But
Mm-hmm.
my man, internet comment etiquette was like, dude, like a bunch of my videos just got taken down because like someone else has the rights to content that I created,
Uh huh.
you know,
Uh huh.
and it's
And
crazy
we
how that can work.
Yeah, and we one of our second bonus episode is actually copyright claimed
What?
because of that the Smoke Perp freestyle that we watched.
Ah,
And
the
it's
man trying to
not
take us down.
because of Tim Westwood, it's because of the beat that's used in that video, which we then watched, is Moonlight by XXX Tentacion, which is then owned by Sony WMG.
Gotcha. Oh, fuck, man. Well, it's a good thing that they stopped us from getting any money from our bonus episode that's not online publicly. And that only
Exactly.
like 3 people other than us have watched. Dude,
We're actually get it.
they are defending artists. They are defending artists from
They
not
are absolutely defending the integrity of artistic creation.
exactly. How is Jay-Z gonna buy Blue Ivy another island if you keep using his beats without
Oh my
paying him?
god. All right, so I was wrong about that 6 billion figure. I don't know where I heard that. That's a
That's
lot
1
of
billion.
money. It's 200 million
Oh,
right
200
now,
million.
but
I
that's for
thought,
like the first 3 years.
gotcha.
Yeah,
Coolio.
yeah. So it's 200 million to 1 billion in the next 3 years. That's what they're aiming for.
Good, dude. It's a good thing that we corrected ourselves before we finished the episode and edited it, because there would have been like 30 trolls just like, these guys think TikTok's even 6 billion? Fucking idiot. I'm just like,
Oh.
"Ugh." I mean, they're still paying creators though. That's kind of fire.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Um, but no, you're not an idiot. That's actually because I was literally like, yeah, I read somewhere that they got 6 billion. I don't know
I
why.
don't know where I got that figure from at all. It just like popped in my mind.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone got $6 billion for something. I don't know. But we could. How do you
You want to
feel? Do
do
you think
this?
you want to do what? Talk about young Chad.
4?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd actually just to take a moment. Um, yeah, so most of you guys probably already know because this episode will be coming out in a week. So it'll
yep.
be September something at this point. Dude,
This
what is
this will
my.
be have been old news by then.
Yeah, so this will be September 5th when you're watching this. But the passing of Mr. Chadwick Boseman day before yesterday.
Wakanda forever.
That's yeah. It's no, it's just I have to say personally that there have been we've experienced a good number of celebrity deaths, right?
Absolutely.
Some people have passed, like Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna forget his name because I have brain farts whenever the information is relevant. Dead Poet Society, Robin Williams,
Robin Williams, Chester
Michael
Bennington.
Jackson, yeah, Chester Bennington. These are all things I
Michael Jackson
experienced as
was
a
like
kid,
20
but
years
like
old. I don't know.
we
I
were
was
in
like
high
15
school.
when that happened.
But I'm just saying in general, like in our lives, you know what I mean?
Gotcha,
Like they
gotcha.
were,
Yeah. All right, my bad. I'm sorry.
but like
Nothing.
Chester Bennington, like Robin Williams, they were like parts of my childhood, right? But
Yeah.
they didn't strike me. Like I didn't feel like a certain amount of like profound loss when they died. I
Fair
was
enough.
like, that is very unfortunate. That's very sad. They were great people, great creators,
Absolutely.
But I didn't feel like, like this hurts. The
Mhm.
Bozeman one did. And I was trying. I was talking to Nate yesterday on the phone at work,
Okay.
and I was trying to dissect why. And I feel like one of the reasons why is because like we talk about Marvel, right? Marvel is a very recent and very large part of our generation and our formative going from teens to adults, right?
Yeah.
Us becoming who we are. Media plays a really big part in that. So we think about the first Iron Man movie, right, which is the first
Mhm.
part of the movie of the MCU, which came out in 2008. So I
Yeah.
was in like ninth, 10th grade.
Yeah.
I was like
Same.
14, 15.
Yeah.
And we go all the way on to like today. Like that's 18 years. No, that's 12 years. I'm really dumb. That's 12
Dude, your
years.
math is so off today, bro. What's happening?
Oh man,
But yeah,
it's because
We've no people have stuck with this series for like the last 12 years. It's like a huge cultural event every time a Marvel movie comes out. Like literally people who I remember, not really giving a shit about, Marvel movies or anything like that, being super hyped once we got towards like, Endgame, Infinity War and whatnot and stuff really started to pick up.
Hmm.
And it's like,
I even didn't really care that much about Iron Man when it first came out. I picked up with the first Captain America. That's where
mhm,
I picked up. And then I went back and watched the older ones after, like, I think, like, Infinity War. I was like, okay, I should watch the other Marvel films. So I did. So I'm all caught up
yeah,
and I know everything that happened and this, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. Um,
I can see the Cat
and
Dennis
I don't,
no longer in the series.
yeah. Um, and I don't know about you, but I mean, I cried at the end of Endgame. Like, I teared up.
Oh, I'd be crying. I cry
Yeah.
at movies. That
I,
should be sad.
yeah.
But no,
I
like the
cried during Wreck It Ralph.
oh my god,
So,
dude, I cried like such a baby at Big Hero 6. That movie,
oh my god, yeah. I watched that
Frozen. Listen,
movie at a,
Frozen's great. Big Hero
yeah.
6 is objectively a better film.
No, Big Hero 6 is, in my opinion, to me, the best Disney film of all time.
I
It
we can go back and forth, but just because I really want to stay on topic, I'll let you have that. But
I
that's fine.
think it's because it touches on like Asian culture and stuff like that.
Okay, fair enough.
I
I
mean,
get that.
I know Mulan does too, but it's like
Hmm.
I don't know, it's cool movie.
No,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I get it.
So that's reason one for me. Like I think that like us as millennials and some of Gen Z, not all of it, but like mostly millennials in like the mid 20s into like their 30s. This was a big part of us from high school where we could really take in media
Yeah.
and then move forward through college into adulthood where this was a
Hmm.
major part of us as people. Like
Yeah.
the MCU is just a big part of our generation, you
Yeah,
know.
absolutely. And like Black
Um
Panther is was just kind of a huge moment. You know what I mean? Black led
yeah,
superhero film, like huge black cast, like that. That was like holy shit, and it did numbers beyond
did
what anyone would have
numbers.
imagined. And it's like
Yeah.
it solidified Bosman as kind of a cultural icon. It solidified him as like this dude's the fucking like this guy's fucking Black Panther, my guy. That's the fucking dude. It sucks. I mean, the dude's like 44, super young death, and like I'm not very familiar with Boseman as an actor. I haven't seen a lot of his
Hmm.
work, but like, dude is very talented, and I think that he was going to be, after the Marvel movies, he was going to be a staple, and like somebody be like, oh yeah, Chadwick Boseman's in this fucking movie. Hell yeah, I'm seeing this. Like that's kind of how I feel about Michael B. Jordan. Now I'm like, this guy's gonna be a movie. Yeah, actually might be pretty damn good. All right, you know, that's
Yeah.
because he did a great job as fucking Killmonger. I was like, hell yeah, dude, you know. And it just sucks because obviously you want to see somebody continue to do great work, and it feels like snuffing out a fucking bonfire, you know, 2 hours too early. You know what I mean? We haven't finished the party, man. Like, and this guy was on fire. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
It was, I mean, there's like a generation of prominent black actors that are now, they started in like unique films,
Yep. Yep.
like with Jackie Robinson, he was in like Get On Up and like 42
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Um, and then you look at guys like Daniel Kaluuya from like Get Out,
Mm-hmm.
who he was in Sicario. He had a really large role. He was in
Yeah.
Black Panther also, like Michael B. Jordan, and
Mm-hmm.
you're oh my god, what's his name? I
Oh, dude.
can't think of stuff today.
Um,
Lakeith Stanfield, from like he started with not started, but like maybe one was like very prominent films was like Get Out, and also he was in like Atlanta, and
yeah.
now he's in like really major stuff.
Oh, dude. Sorry to bother you. Fucking.
Yeah,
Oh, great movie. So weird. So crazy. I love it. That is. Make more movies like that, please. Um, even
or
I was
like
gonna say Yahya Abdul Mateen the second. Fucking he's
mhm.
gonna be starring in Jordan Peele's I guess sequel or recreation, reimagining, spiritual sequel. I'm on IMDb right now. I had to look this guy up because I just want to shout him out because he's fucking grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was in that really fucking crazy Black Mirror episode with the fucking Falcon, who is also now the lead in Altered Carbon. Great show.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, these
What's that
guys.
guy's name? Oh, Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie. That's that guy's name.
Yes,
Yeah.
I met Anthony Mackie at a fucking at a bar, and I don't think he heard me because I was like, "Yo, your real name's Clarence." I don't think he appreciated
and also like John David Washington from like Black Klansman. You know, like this is like a generation of like people who started in smaller stuff that are coming out. So these are like very recognizable names. They're a big part of our media. So that's you know, we think about like the point I was going to have earlier was like every like recognizable, like Wakanda Forever with the fucking arms. That's so recognizable. Like everybody knows that shit. You know. And like was, how much stuff from other Marvel films or like other major films are like that recognizable, you know?
Oh, none.
They're not. That's like that's a cultural fucking icon at this point.
Oh, dude,
you know?
Dude, it's this generation's fucking live long and prosper.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Know? So you know, and so we look at like the face behind that, and that's like, yeah. So I mean, just to round it back, like it's just like. Thinking about what he had next, and like I find myself feeling like a certain amount of like definitely like profound sadness about it that I didn't feel with other people, with other celebrities.
Definitely, like I won't say that my this death was more painful than any other because like I said, I'm a huge fan of like I really like the Black Panther movie. That shit was grand.
Yeah.
But like I'm not like a huge Chadwick Boseman fan, but I do know that like he is a, you know what I mean, he's a great actor, and we lost a fucking talented individual to you know a very long hard fight that he had, and that shit just sucks.
Yeah, and he was doing movies in the middle of that too, because that was 2016, which means that like Black Panther was in production. I'm trying to think of like honestly what else. He was actually they're gonna have to find a new actor, which is very unfortunate. But he was in pre-production for Yasuke, which was going to be a film about
the first samurai movie.
Yes, yeah. So they're gonna have to find someone else for that. But yeah, he was in production for that.
Jesus. Speaking of Chadwick Boseman, real quick, and pieces of shit on the internet. You've heard of Discount Devil May Cry Visa Vadudu? I don't know what his real name is. What is it?
Vinny the Vazo. I don't know. You're
Vinny the Vazo. I don't know, man. He looks like Costco Kaneki-kun from what's that shit? Tokyo Ghoul. My man. Oh god, his hair is so fried. It's terrible. It's almost as fried as his brain, because he decided that he'd like to like politicize Chadwick Boseman's death. He's like, oh, I know everyone's saying Wakanda forever. What do you think about Wakanda's immigration policy? Like, what are you talking about, dickhead? Did you watch the movie? Because one, that was a negative thing that they had to get over in the film. The entire thing was this conversation between the isolationist ideals of T'Chaka and then the hyper revolutionary ideas, or reactionary revolutionary ideas of Killmonger, in which Black Panther had to find himself in the ever so lovely enlightened centrist position, but genuinely finding the middle ground between these two extremes, right? And the film ends with him being like, you know what, man, we got all this tech and shit. We could open up our borders. So one, you didn't watch the movie and you didn't understand the lessons. So that's 1 point off, stupid. 2, if you actually like read Marvel comics and knew anything about Wakanda, is there's a very strong reason as to why they have been so isolationist, right? T'Chaka and all the leaders saw what happened, with colonization and how all of the resources in other places have been, fucking looted and bastardized by the Europeans and whatnot. They were like, fuck this. We got this magic rock that fell from space. We're going to use it for our tech, and we're going to build a dope ass society that no one's going to know about because you fuckers like to steal.
Yeah, and, and the notion behind it also, and the creation by Marvel was because there's like this Western stereotype about Africa, about it being like desert and huts, and everyone's
Mm-hmm.
poor and starving, and it's like, well, first of all, no, like Cape Town, South Africa is like a sprawling metropolis,
Right.
but and other African cities, of course,
Right.
like
There's like plenty of like I know some people who they're like originally from like the Congo, but they're from Africa. I'm so sorry, bro. If you see this podcast and you're like, dude, I know where I'm from, bro. Just message me and tell me I'm an idiot because I am, but it's fine. But like he showed me pictures of his fucking house and like, you know, his family and shit, and like shit looks like the suburbs in LA. The fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. Shit looks mad nice. He had a I don't think he had a pool, but he showed me a pool. Somebody had a pool. Fuck. I don't have a pool.
I know someone who currently lives in Cairo, Egypt, and he has like an apartment on like a 48th floor of like a skyscraper. Like
Right.
it's just it's a city. It's a city. It's not like. But yeah, there's this Western stereotype about it, so that Wakanda is like this thing that's like, oh no, they were actually like way more advanced and like than any Western civilization ever was. So yeah, and I left a comment on his video because one, imagine without a hint of irony watching Black Panther and not understanding it at all, because
Yeah.
it's pretty fucking in your face.
It's very clear.
And so I was like, dude, like imagine seeing a prominent celebrity's death happen, and your only reaction to it is, how can I politicize this for my own gain?
Yeah.
Not this is sad. Like,
let me make this. About
which inclines me. Yeah, I'm inclined to believe he doesn't give a shit that he died.
Oh no, not at all. He doesn't give a single fuck about Chadwick Boseman. And he probably also doesn't give a single fuck about Black Panther, the film, or the actual lore and canon story of the comic books. And
bold of you to assume that a conservative would do their research.
This is true. That was a very. I don't have much, but I do have the audacity to believe that Republicans are going to say something in good faith.
Oh god. And a point that was also made by Boseman about Black Panther was he says there's no good guy or bad guy in the film. There's just two people at odds, and
Right.
The story with Killmonger is based on an African proverb, which is the child who was not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth.
Yes, or the I think the whole quote is, yeah, if they don't feel the village's love, they will burn down the village to feel its warmth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's that. Did you say that? I feel like you missed the love part. I don't know.
I said the child who was not embraced. I don't know. I looked it up.
Gotcha.
But
sorry.
I mean, we're saying the same thing.
I misquoted. I goofed. This is my goof. Hello, I am the goof man. I did a fucky wucky, a little oopsie doodle.
But yeah, so we just wanted to take this moment to reflect on Chadwick Boseman's career. He was a great actor. It's
Absolutely.
a huge loss. And for everyone out there, all of our friends who watch our podcast that are also very grieving about this, because I know that they are. Yeah, we're with you on this one. So that's our taking a moment for Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
So a little quick moment of silence.
Yes.
Excellent.
Which I will then transition this, since we're talking about like black rights and a prominent black actor and like all these things. You talked about Vazo the dickhead. I don't know his name. I don't care. I'm not going to add him. Is I want to talk about this NBA strike real quick.
Okay.
So I think what we experienced in the NBA, and you're probably not knowledgeable on it.
Not at all.
You don't watch sports.
Sports man.
Is that so? After the shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, which was at this point about, what would you say,
Wait,
like
actually,
a week, 2 weeks ago?
Could we take a real quick pause? I've got to pee.
That is fine. Yep.
All right, be right back.
Yeah. Okay. So we were
NBA.
talking about the NBA strike. So here's what happened. I think it's very unprecedented in sports. Like a couple of years ago, around the time when Kaepernick started kneeling, there was a movement within the NFL where players were kneeling for the national anthem. A good
Yeah.
number of them, and that has continued across sports for a little while. But the reason why a lot of players in the NFL kneeled was because there was some rhetoric from some owners that was very racist. Um, there was a quote from, I believe, the Texans owner. I'm not 100% sure. I think the Texans owner who
Mhm.
said something along the lines of, "We can't have the prisoners running the prison," which was,
Oh yeah.
taken as a very, a very racist statement because majority of NFL players are black.
Right.
We talk about prisoners, we talk about thugs. It's very racially charged.
Yes.
So there was a lot of kneeling
That's
going on.
racist
It
shit.
happens a little less now. A big movement now is, instead of kneeling, is to stand like you do with your hand over your heart, but then your fist raised for black
Mm,
empowerment. Right?
right.
That's what a lot of them are doing. But there was never a disruption in play
Yeah.
ever. So
Right.
what happened is, after Jacob Blake's shooting in Wisconsin,
Hmm.
and the Milwaukee Bucks, and Milwaukee is in Wisconsin,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yes. Dude, those Midwestern states know nothing about them. Anyway, Milwaukee's in Wisconsin. So the Milwaukee Bucks, after it happened, they sort of set off like an unprecedented collective action in
Yeah.
U.S. sports when basically they had a playoff game this past Wednesday, and they refused to take the court
Hmm.
for the game.
Nice. Good
So
on.
within hours, the NBA's like remaining schedule, it was all put on hold because the rest of the league's players all joined the Bucks in solidarity.
Mm,
So no players and no
yes.
playoff games happened, and
Yes.
then players in the WNBA.
NBA.
It happened in the WNBA. In baseball, it happened. The Phillies released a statement. They basically said, "Hey, tonight's game against the Nationals is just not going to happen." It happened in Major League Soccer and like tennis and a couple of other sports. So basically, a lot of sports that were playing on Wednesday and Thursday did not have games.
Yes.
And I think
Fuck
this sort of sets
yeah.
the tone for sports because, like I said, there had never really been a disruption in play.
Mhm.
So the nothing ever really. People disagreed with the kneeling. They had this or that, but in the end, they still had their product to consume.
Exactly. They
Uh,
still got what they wanted. It was a mild disruption at best. And that's
yeah.
yes. I love this.
So now, what this is like when workers unionize for the first time and they recognize the power they have. Because
Yeah.
what happened was all those sports leagues just had to be like, okay, I guess this is happening. Because,
They can't
the
do shit.
players,
If the
they can't do
players
shit. Yeah,
aren't playing, you can't do shit. I'm sorry. I'm
the
so
players
excited by
create the
this fucking
product.
this whole thing because I'm just
You
like,
sound
dude,
very enthused.
I am so enthused. This is the now I might just watch basketball off the strength of this move. Like, hell yeah, solidarity, bitch. I will watch that game. I don't even care. You didn't cross the picket line. Hell yeah, bro. I'm watching the NBA now. Like, this is
So,
mm,
yeah, and some really great stuff has come of it. So what happened was on Wednesday night, after that happened, a lot of players. So the every league has a players association, which is usually a collective of players that represent the rest of the players. It's like a union, basically,
yeah,
as well as other interests and stuff like that. They represent the players and they meet with the league. So this happened in football. It's called the NFLPA. It's the NFL Player Association. Baseball has one. I don't know what it's called, like
mm,
what the exact acronyms are. But basically, in a lot of major sports, they met with the league and the owners, and they discussed sort of their dissatisfaction with like the league's efforts to promote racial justice
Mm,
and talk about um, um, like systemic oppression and police brutality and stuff. So a
yeah.
couple of things are going to happen. Well, one is that on every single NBA court, and I
Mhm.
believe on every single NFL field for the coming season, Black Lives Matter will be on the on display. So that's one.
Wait, wait,
Um,
wait. Wait. Explain these things one more time. Sorry.
so from where?
From just the caveats, the changes that they're making. I
Okay, so
apologize.
the starting one is that so on every NBA court, I've watched some basketball and I've seen it. This happened at the beginning, sort of at the beginning of the season. But Black Lives Matter, like the writing of Black Lives Matter is on every NBA court.
Nice. Okay.
It will be on every NFL field. I'm pretty sure. Um, in the wake of the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, um, they also allowed players to put social justice messages on their jerseys.
Hmm.
Um, so a very specific one. I forget the Sixers player. I feel bad. He's not. I think it's Matisse Thybulle, out of University of Washington. He's
Hmm.
like a rookie, um, but I believe he had "No Justice, No Peace" instead of his name.
Nice.
Um, but then they met with the league a little later after what happened with Jacob Blake, and
Yeah.
they reached an agreement with the league and team owners to resume play. So play
Hmm.
resumed on Thursday in exchange for commitments to further the cause of social justice. So now what they're doing is they're creating league-wide social justice coalitions. Um, and this is the major one. I forgot about this one, but
Okay. The major one.
every NBA arena is going to be turned into a voting location for the upcoming presidential election. And I believe NFL stadiums will too because they're huge. They can host tens of thousands of people and they're open air. So that's
Fuck.
one. And yeah, every single league is going to have a social justice coalition. So have representatives from every community that teams are in. So you got your Philadelphia, you got New York, that kind of thing, and then players who will then devote time and resources to addressing concerns from communities,
Mm.
which is something that the Eagles have been doing for the past couple years, behind the power of he's now on the New Orleans Saints, but Malcolm Jenkins, who was a safety for the Eagles since 2014. So
Mm.
2014 through 2019, he was on the Eagles, and he um, partnered with some other players, and they created sort of a bit of a players committee on like talking about racial injustice with the league. But this has now expanded.
That's really fucking
So
cool.
there's a players coalition across almost all major sports, I believe, at this point. I
Hmm.
don't know about hockey, but hockey is like not a very black populated sport.
Right.
So
Right. Might just hockey might not do anything unless the
yeah,
players also were striking. So.
but we talk about like player protest. It started with Colin Kaepernick. There was a lot of
Yeah.
backlash. Everyone's like, "It's not the time and the place. Do it on your own
Yep.
time. You're not changing anything." What we're
Right.
looking at right now is what incremental change looks like, and it took years, but that's what
Yeah.
happens. This is what
Yep.
needs to happen. You know, change is never immediate. We look at intermediate solutions, um,
Hmm.
but everything it's about playing the long game and looking at like what I do now will affect the future.
Yeah.
So it started with Kaepernick kneeling, or he actually sat on the bench for the first time back in. I want to get this right. I want to say it was 2016, August 14th,
Mhm.
2016.
Yeah.
Um, so it started 4 years ago, and now we're
Hmm.
looking at what again was an unprecedented shift for players because I realized, oh, we can literally just collectively refuse not to play, and our leagues cannot do anything about it because they
Yep.
rely on us to make money. because individually, when players will do things that are against league protocol, this and the third, they get fined. And players,
Mm,
you look at this like individual action at any job where one person can't do anything without a union and they get reprimanded, they lose money, they get fired, this, that, and the third. Like
yeah,
Colin Kaepernick got blackballed out of the league. I'm pretty sure Eric Reed, who was his friend on the 49ers, who continued to protest, also it does not have a job anymore.
shit.
I don't think he basically became a free agent. It was never signed by another team. Yeah, his last season, I believe, was 2018.
Mm,
Um, so you look at individual action, but it's the same idea. They can't fire all of you, and that's
mm.
so.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
yeah.
is
It's like that's the thing that people aren't realizing. Like a lot more industries need to kind of get on that same wave and understand they can't do anything if you refuse to do the job.
yeah. So we talk about the protests, the Black Lives Matter protests that have been happening across
Mm,
the world since April. I'm pretty sure that's when the
yep.
date happened. Yeah. And we look at it as, oh, this is the largest protest movement ever. This thing that just happened is the largest uh, sports protest that has ever happened.
Yeah. We are living in unprecedented times currently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like people really need to get with the fucking picture because shit is the times they are changing. You know, you're gonna love looking at that face. Jesus Christ! I just saw myself in the camera, and why did I do that? But yes, shit is changing. Things are coming to a head, and there is a lot, you know, fundamentally
Yeah.
at stake. Like, and
Yeah. And
I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to me. I'm
it's what it is the player's willingness to walk away kind of fundamentally changes the power structure in
yeah.
sports, which it was really on the league and the owners.
Hmm.
But this is, I'm just
You
going to
want
call it
to?
unionization because I don't want to make a bad comparison.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, listen, kids, you want to be like your favorite sports star? Go organize your friends and your workers. Get them to strike.
Yeah. But they can strike whenever now because they know that they can. Um, and, what it also does by giving them power is it allows them to demand that they be treated as human beings instead of a commodity for entertainment. Uh, So, a quote from Jamil Smith of Rolling Stone, he said, America can no longer enjoy its black gladiators, in particular, without recognizing the full value of their lives. If the status quo continues, we now know what these athletes can and will do.
Hmm. They're gonna take away your sports if you don't start respecting Black lives, dickheads. Get your shit together. Like that's my translation. Hey man, fix this shit, or we're not playing the fucking ball game, dude. I mean, no throw ball,
And,
no fix ball.
it's so prominent that what I'm also hoping is that the NBA strike might inspire strikes and the development of unions in industries outside of sports that
Yeah,
I said aren'tly currently are not unionized.
yeah,
Aren'tly.
absolutely. This is no, but it is. It's absolutely going to show. Like this is better than any mass demonstration from you know a political organizing group could ever do because these are in a lot of ways people look at these guys like fucking gods,
Yeah.
and now it's like, oh shit, they just told the guy that signs their checks that he can go suck a fat dick if he doesn't fix it. Maybe I can do that too.
Yeah.
I'm hyped. Go sports in general. NFL, NBA. You said soccer, WNBA. Shout out to all of you for
And
organizing.
tennis. Yeah.
And tennis. And tennis?
Tennis.
Tennis? Yes,
Tennis.
tennis. I You guys don't even have teams and you guys have solidarity. I love it.
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
have tennis teams? Am I gonna look like a dumbass? Number.
I don't know. They have like duos and pairings, but I don't think they have full teams. But I know
Okay.
Naomi Osaka was like the big one. She's the one who last year beat uh, not Venus. What's Serena Williams? She beat Serena Williams in
God,
the women's championship.
how big are
Um,
her arms?
she's
Serena
actually yeah. Naomi Osaka is like, oh, she's built, but she's not like humongous.
who?
But
Serena
she's
Williams?
also Naomi Osaka,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and she's all when it happened, she was also I believe only 20 when
Nice.
she beat Serena. Yeah,
Good on her.
yeah.
Because
So she
Serena Williams, Serena and Venus are fucking monsters. I don't like tennis, but I've seen clips of them, and I'm like, holy shit.
I think that she sat out of the U.S. Open,
Hmm.
U.S. Open or another series, but something like that. Yeah, I don't know that much about tennis, if I'm being honest, or absolutely nothing
Me,
actually.
I don't.
So we're coming up on time here, so I just want to touch on Kenosha just real quick
Yeah.
with what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. Um, so it's all been talked about very thoroughly the
Yes.
past few days. You and I have spoken very much so about it. But basically, for contextual, I'd be surprised if you don't know what happened. But contextually, a 17-year-old white kid named Kyle Rittenhouse um, drove
At
across
his
state
mom.
lines with his mother from Illinois to Wisconsin to basically quote unquote defend businesses while there was a protest happening over Jacob Blake's shooting. What
Yes.
happened was there's a lot of takes from both sides. My side of what I viewed, I've watched both videos. It's
Hmm.
very rough to watch. I won't ask you or tell anybody to do it. But
Right.
what happened?
That
I've
context.
watched both videos. Is he got into an altercation with someone? He shot three people. One in the head. Two of them are dead. One in the arm, and he will be losing his arm. Um, Now, my take is that Rittenhouse was the aggressor. He gets into a
Hmm.
verbal altercation with someone. Someone throws a plastic bag at him, which has been photoshopped by
Yeah.
right wing sources. I believe the Daily Caller is the one that did it.
Of
Um,
course they did.
yeah,
They
to be a
were the-
Molotov, but it was not. It was a plastic bag full of like fast food trash, like
Yeah.
an empty fry
Coke
carton
bottle.
and stuff like that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Then he if you watch his muzzle flash, you listen to the sound. He fires a shot first, which is a warning shot, which hits the ground in front of the guy who threw it. The guy who
Mm.
threw it starts to chase him, supposedly in an attempt to disarm him because he thought this guy's going to start shooting at this crowd that is behind me, of which
Yeah.
in the video you can see about 24 protesters walking along the sidewalk. He chases
Yeah.
them. They fall. They fall behind some parked cars. You don't know what happens. A couple more shots go off. What happens there is the first guy shot in the head. The
Mm.
next video is him backtracking as he's rushed by protesters. One guy tries to hit him with a skateboard. He's shot in the chest a couple times. Next guy walks up, has a handgun, gets shot in the arm. Then Rittenhouse
Hmm.
flees.
Okay, so
Um,
I haven't watched or wait, no. Yeah, no, I haven't watched the videos. But I've,
I, I'm
spoken
not
to.
gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna endorse you in doing it. It's very rough to watch. I only did it so I could solidify my standpoint, and my, my standpoint is we've all seen what teenage white kids with ARs have done across the country in
Yeah,
schools, in movie theaters, and so
it's
what
not
I
really a
see
stretch
is
of imagination to
yeah,
think that, somebody walking towards or, approaching a peaceful protest with a firearm, it may not be the most peaceful of
yeah.
individuals.
And he went out of his way to be there, so that within
Yeah.
itself already kind of tells the story. So all I did was solidify what I already thought happened was that these three people attempted to stop what they thought was going to be a mass shooter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't turn into that. What happened is very sad. Two people lost their lives. One person will be losing his arm. Um,
Those
and
three guys are all heroes, and I
yeah,
respect them. And
yeah.
rest in peace to those individuals,
I
because
don't know their names. I know one guy's last name was Haub,
Anthony
Haub.
Anthony
I think
Huber, and then
Huber. There we go. Yeah.
I believe the other man. Hold on, I'm gonna find his name.
Yeah,
It's Jonathan something.
yeah. So and your right wing reactionaries, they want to bring up so and so's criminal history because that's what they do no matter what. So this thing
Hmm.
I want to touch on just before we run out of time here is about Rittenhouse. So Kyle
Yeah,
Rittenhouse, just a quick biography on him as a person. And well, the first thing that happened was he is not from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He's
yeah.
from Illinois. He
Hmm.
drove across state lines. He is 17, so his
Yeah,
AR was illegally owned. It is illegal
right.
also to transport a firearm over state lines. So he
Hmm.
broke two major laws right there.
Yeah.
In Wisconsin, to own an AR, the legal age is 21, not 18. In Illinois, it's 18. He was
Mm.
17. Um, so there's that. The second one is that things that are coming out now, there's two things. The
Okay.
first one is a video that has come out of Kyle Rittenhouse from high school, the high school that he attends, where him and his two other friends, they are all ages 16 and 17, larger. I'm not gonna call them large because I don't know how big they are, but they are bigger than this 15-year-old girl. They get into a
Mm.
verbal argument. They jump her. They beat the shit out of her in a parking lot. The three of them.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The other one is a lot of his classmates are now coming out after this thing happened and saying, "Look, this dude used to make verbal threats against classmates, saying that
Mm.
that he's gonna shoot them. He used to follow kids home, saying he has a gun in his backpack if they said anything negative about Trump."
Hmm.
So you talk about the I'm you don't want to make dangerous assumptions about people, but you talk about the sort of profile and the attitude of what makes a mass shooter.
Yeah.
I am very confident in this statement saying that Kyle Rittenhouse was a mass shooter in the making. If it didn't happen here, it was going to happen somewhere else, and more people were going to die.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Because there were a couple of different mass shooters that have happened over the last couple of years that specifically follow far right reactionary figureheads, people like Ben Shapiro, Laura Ingraham, what's that guy's name? Potato Face, Tucker Carlson, Face constantly shrinks Charlie Kirk,
Yeah,
fucking switch sides, Candace Owens, whatever, and what have you. And like, really, there's another shooter in another country, I think, and there's a videotape of his, like, I guess deposition is what it's called. There's like an interview process, and he's just like, I was just trying to keep people safe. I wanted to stop the terrorists and the people coming to like attack and rape my home, and it's like,
you're not from here, bro.
what's
Go
up?
home.
Go home, dude.
I was Go home, dude.
That's not happening, dude. Like, it's all fake shit. It's all reactionary
Yeah,
bullshit,
and
and
yeah,
like
and
these
there's a
guys.
sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I just want to finish this thought real quick, because Ben Shapiro gets fucking he got confronted. We always talk about Ben Shapiro, but he's the fucking worst. He got confronted about the fact that one of the mass shooters in the last couple of years, one of the top, if not the top profile on Twitter that he interacted with was his, and his explanation is like, I don't know if there's no correlation between the things that I say and like my ideas and whatever this lunatic might have done. He followed a whole bunch of other people, and that's nothing. And this is a guy that constantly talks about how like the culture of people that people are around affect them and make them criminals and whatnot. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, dude, if you yourself and your ilk have created a culture around your ideas, and this is what it produces, and he was
Mm-hmm.
completely unwilling to um, recognize that fact,
Yeah, I think he's a piece of shit. But like people like
Oh,
him, also these people we're talking about, and others, they gaslight their audiences because you have these these young white impressionable kids who they keep saying like society wants you to apologize for being white, and these people are just like, well, I didn't choose to be white. Like
right.
they want you to apologize for being a man. It's like, well, I was born like that. Like they want to take things from you, but we're here to help you and help you stand up for yourself. And they gaslight these kids into thinking
Mm-hmm.
that they're under attack. So now they have this sort of defensive victim mentality, and they want to go out and they want to be this hero. They want to defend whiteness. They want to defend their identity. So you have this guy like Kyle Rittenhouse who thinks what's happening is that these people are destroying businesses. They're fighting, like they're destroying the lives of innocent people, and as a whole, whiteness and society are under attack by the bad people,
The
the
bad,
wrongdoers.
the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So
It's
because
yeah.
yeah,
So just to throw some current pop culture in here, I think that this is actually an attitude that is being touched upon in the continuation of the Karate Kid extended universe, Cobra Kai.
oh,
No, but it's actually like a really really interesting thing because you've got martial arts in itself has a very contradictory sort of idea. Like you learn to be good at violence so that violence doesn't be put upon you, right? It's like self defenses. There's a lot of like old timey, not old timey, but like Japanese proverbs that talk about combat. Like there's this one that's like it's better to have a samurai in a garden than it is to have a farmer on the battlefield. Um,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
the idea is that there is like a balance, right? And you've got fucking Johnny from the bad guy from the original movie.
yeah.
He's 40 now and his life is a mess because of that karate tournament. And he tries to open a new karate studio. And he gets his first student, this kid who lives in his apartment building and whatnot. And because the kid's kind of a nerd and he wants to not be victimized any further because
Mm-hmm.
he's new and like people are shitting on him. And he starts teaching him. There's this moment. This is all the first, second episode. There's a moment where he reflects on how his sensei reacted to his loss, where his sensei's like choking him out and like kicking the shit out of him and being very, very abusive. And he starts teaching this kid very much the same way that his sensei taught him. And this gets the kid in like the second or third episode, gets him his ass kicked because, he's like out there looking for trouble because he has been instilled this mindset that like everyone's out to get him, or not even anyone's out to get him, but like when people are like trying to start shit with you, you gotta start
Yeah,
first,
yeah,
cause the shit first, and then he's not trained, he doesn't know shit, and he gets his ass kicked, and he's outnumbered, and like it's a whole thing where now he's reflecting on that thing, and the problem is like we keep getting these things that should be a reflection of these attitudes, and no one's doing any goddamn reflecting.
yeah. I mean, they just to summarize it up. I mean, they just convince these kids they're being victimized and that they need to defend themselves. They need to defend the status quo and defend whiteness, but they have to be the
Mhm.
ones who strike first.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they're
Yeah.
they're yeah, they're constantly being fed this like, oh, they're coming to get you, trying to take away your ability to say things. They're trying to take away your ability to think. Like, no, dude, they're just asking. Literally, people are just asking you to not be a dick. Just relax. It's
Pretty
gonna be
much.
all right.
Yeah. So to end up here, just want to follow this up and just end it. Is so Rittenhouse right now? He's being held in a juvenile center in his home in Antioch,
Mm,
Illinois. He's awaiting his he missed his first trial date because he's still being held there and he has to be transported. So they extended it out 45 days. So
mm,
he has to be transported to Kenosha, specifically to Lake County.
yeah.
Um, so he's awaiting that extradition. He's been charged with more things. So
Oh,
initially he was charged with first degree intentional homicide.
okay.
Prosecutors filed more charges against him on Thursday, so a few days ago. So they've
Okay.
added one count of reckless homicide, one
Okay.
count for attempted intentional homicide, and two counts of reckless endangerment.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
They're throwing books
and
at this
what?
guy.
Sorry,
Good.
yeah, and one more charge of possession of a dangerous weapon while under the age of 18. That's a
Good.
misdemeanor, not a felony. The other ones are all felonies, so they're
Well,
separated. So yeah, I mean, this kid was a public safety cadet in Grays Lake, Illinois, which
yeah.
is the program. It's described online as offering youth the opportunity to explore careers in law enforcement. So This kid was going to be a cop, and these are the kinds of people, cops, you see out there victimizing and brutalizing black people because. So it's a not. I'm not going to call it a good thing because what happened is terrible, but
Yeah.
he got
I
stopped
mean,
before he managed to have any sort of power, I
right,
guess.
right. I mean, yeah, he did. He did. They did manage to stop him before anything even crazier happened. And like I said, good on them. I honor those three gentlemen as heroes because
Yeah,
they really put themselves at risk to keep everybody else okay, and they lost their lives. And I hope this kid fucking rots. It's
yeah. I
fucking.
hope he fries. Honestly,
But on that
yeah.
fucking note,
On that fucking note, yeah. End it dark, but yeah.
oh wait, I just want to actually nah, fuck that guy. He's not getting any time on our podcast. There's a dickhead who responded to one of my like viral videos. Um, it's not doing very well on his page, but like he was given one of those fucking stupid arguments. Oh man, why don't you care about the businesses and the damage that it's doing to these
Cause I
families? And
don't.
because I don't
I
care.
don't care. I'm sorry, dude. I don't give a fuck about businesses. They have
Like
insurance.
they have insurance. Oh no, that's a straw man, dude. According to him, that's a straw man. But I guess
Oh,
like
okay, sure.
yeah. But the one thing that I do want to say is like there have been peaceful protests for the better part of 10 years now. It started with
Yeah.
Trayvon Martin, you know what I mean? Like, and then a couple months later, Eric Garner, Michael Brown, fucking
Freddie
Jonathan
Gray.
Crawford. Like,
Yep.
I didn't. There, these are three things. You know what I mean? I didn't realize were worthy of capital punishment. Petty theft, fucking selling cigarettes, and shopping for a BB gun at Walmart. It's crazy. So like this is not new. We have been
Mm-hmm.
asking for accountability, for some sort of justice, for countless names that keep lining up. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
what do you want people to do? The peaceful protesting has happened. Nothing got changed. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do you expect?
That,
Riots are
they
the
want you to
language
shut
of
up.
the unheard. Just one more time. Riots are the language of the unheard.
Yeah.
Okay? That's Martin Luther King. Read that quote. Google it. Find context.
They want black people to just shut up. That's what they want.
Yeah,
And
that's what they
when
want.
people say like, well, why can't they just protest peacefully? I always answer, and I say, since 2012, since Michael Brown's death in 2012, Black Lives Matter has held over 1,600 protests, peaceful protests.
1600.
1,600. How many of them did you know about?
Yeah, right.
It's been violent for a couple months, and stuff is getting done.
Now
Yeah,
people give a shit. Now things are changing. So I don't know, man. I just think the Sons of Liberty didn't, like George fucking Lee said, Sons of Liberty didn't peacefully ask, oh, please see our humanity. No, they destroyed some shit. And they said, we're here, we're human, and we deserve our fucking rights. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna finish it off on this quote.
Yes.
It's from Wokamon. It's a Pikachu,
Okay. Nice.
and it says, "Nobody in the world, nobody in history has ever gotten their freedom by appealing to the moral sense of the people who were oppressing them."
And that's it. That's the
Yep.
fucking quote.
Don't Panic Podcast. Patreon.com/Don't Panic Podcast. Thank you so much. The U.S.
Thank you.
Corona cases are over 6 million now, so please stay safe, wear a mask. We love you.
We love you.
All right, have a good night.